right, we are back with the Nuttycast. Welcome back, everyone. The three of you who might be listening right now. And we have, by popular demand, the lovely, my own wife, Mary Magnum.
Okay.
Say hello, please, Mary.
Oh, hello.
Sweet Cheeks. Is it all right if I
Yes.
call you Sweet Cheeks?
No.
Darling Angel. So, we have been together since 2005, married since 2009, many moons ago. When I told you that I wanted to start a small business at the Lansdale Farmers Market back in 2012, what were you thinking?
Well, it didn't make any sense to me because I don't have any of those kinds of bones in my body to be able to do something like that. But I know that you are different from me, and I know that you wouldn't say something like that if you didn't feel confident in it because you do things well. And so I trusted you to take that leap.
That is a very sweet answer.
That's the
I didn't
truth.
feel
So
like I had much confidence in that
in my
at
response.
that time, for
Oh,
sure.
okay. I mean, I figured it could fail, but you'd bounce back. You'd be all right. You're smart.
Thank you for that.
Does that help? Clarify?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you know that I was hoping that this would be an us thing?
Yeah, I knew that. But you didn't read the room and didn't pick up on what I'm good at and not good at. And everything that you described are things that I am not good at. Talking to people, having a business. I don't know what any of these things mean. It's foreign to me.
You can do all of these things.
I can
You can
pretend.
be very good at all of these
I
things.
have kicked you off of the out of markets
Ooh.
before. What was that? Events. I've been like, go away, you need a break. And I've clicked on a mode that only comes out once in a blue moon.
Oh, should we go right into that story?
Oh, sure.
So there we were, 2016, 17, somewhere in there, and we were at the Emporium
Oh, yum.
in beautiful
Nobody knows.
Washington, D.C.
Oh, yes.
Which meant that this was like an overnight trip. In fact, 2 overnights because it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the previous year at this same event was our best event of any kind ever. And it was super exciting and confidence boosting. And I was like, wow, we have a product that people want to buy. But whatever this year was, 2016-ish, 17, somewhere in there, we were having a very different experience. They had marketed differently. And instead of a bunch of like moms with some disposable income coming to the event, like we had come accustomed to the previous year, and which is definitely like our demographic. This was like a bunch of like younger kids, college kids, whom I adore, but they are less our clientele. They tended to be a BLT type crowd. Browsers, lookers, and tasters, not buyers. And that was frustrating to me. This event was frustrating to be at, was expensive to be at. We brought a ton of product down, and like I said, it was 2 overnights. I don't know if you remember, but you took a day off of work for this thing. Mary was a teacher at the time, and she took a day off of work on Friday so that we could go down and be at this thing. And Friday and Saturday were both like okay days at best. They were not great. They were not what I was hoping. And so Sunday comes around and I am not having the best attitude. And what do you remember? What do you remember from this
Well,
day?
I just figured that even if they weren't buying now, if they were to remember us at all, I would want them to remember just having the delicious product. So if you were going to be grumpy about it, I wanted you to go away for your own benefit. So I did kick you out. And I was like, I got this. And I just gave them the free samples and gave them the spiel about all the goodness of Nutty Novelties. And
Would you describe me as openly grumpy at that time?
yeah, Yeah, if I had to kick you off, you were,
It
yeah,
was pretty
it
bad.
was bad. So I think that was the only real time. I mean, I've given you breaks before. I'd like click my like go mode on, but it's hard.
She kicked me out of my own booth.
I did. It's a proud moment.
And she was
It'll
a good
never
woman that
happen
day.
again.
Okay. All right. So, kicking back to episode 1 of the Nuttycast, perhaps you recall I mentioned that we did about $600 that first week at Lansdowne Farmers Market.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps you remember my grandparents coming up
Oh, yeah.
and being very loudly supportive
Oh, yeah.
and excited.
Always.
And I remember we went to lunch at Molly McGuire's afterwards,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where I counted up the money, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
holy cow. Like, this is so excited. And I was hot and tired and embarrassed and a little bit embarrassed by my grandparents. What do you remember from that very first day in business in 2012?
I remember just being grateful for the family support that you have always had, um, and it's way more than I could have ever done, and I just knew that you would take the next step, and I certainly couldn't do it, so I just looked to you and followed, and was proud of you, even despite however you thought it should have gone or whatever. I trusted that the next
Do you even
thing should
recall the
happen.
financial number or think about numbers or money at any time ever?
Numbers, money. I don't like shopping or buying things, so I'm not really, I'm not like needing all this extra, so I don't, it didn't really mean anything to me. I'm like, good job, you tried. Gold star, A plus.
This is
Let's
why
do it
I love
again or
you.
not. Maybe, who knows? I trust you.
All right, so fast forward a couple years. Again, mentioned in episode 1 of the Nuttycast, I get fired from my job in 2015. And you're there picking me up. And in fact, I have recalled more details. So you picked me up, and then we went home and got dressed in we got dressed up a little bit because we had a wedding rehearsal dinner that night, that very night for your brother.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen and Cassie were getting married the very next day.
And you made their nutty favors.
Oh, yes, I did. We made Nutty Novelties wedding favors
That
for
was
them.
our
Now
first one.
available on nuttynovelties.com.
Yeah, that was our first ever. Those were great.
Aw, I
Yeah,
forgot about that. Thank you for remembering
you're welcome. That's what I'm here for. That's all I'm here for.
that.
No,
But you picked me up. You picked me up from work that day.
yes. You
You had
didn't
finished.
even say anything. I pulled up and I could see your whole demeanor, your whole face, and I knew you were disappointed in the way things played out, but you weren't happy for a long time and you had this weight, and it was a tricky thing that just kind of evolved, and I saw you constantly trying to do the right thing, but it just kind of turned into needing to move on, but it was hard to know how to do that. And, as unfortunate as it felt for it to happen that way, it needed to happen. So it just felt like this release of good, it's done. To be able to like wrap that up and turn and look forward. And I remember drawing a picture. Do you remember the picture I drew for you? It wasn't like, I'm an artist slash art teacher, and it was not like, anything museum worthy. It was literally like a line, and I remember saying like, you're kind of going to go this way, and then it might, go this way or this way, and it like might be kind of zigzaggy, but eventually like you'll keep going in the direction that you're meant to go in, and you might veer off one way or the other, and it might, if you were to look at this line as a whole, it would look all over the place, but eventually I trusted that, you would be where you need to be. And yeah, I just had this confidence in what was ahead for you. I don't know why.
I do remember
But
that.
I did. I had this, it didn't feel like a horrible day to me. I feel like that was like you were broken free, and that was good. That was a good day to me.
I was very impressed by your faith that day because I was not feeling much faith. I was feeling all the uh, earthly limitations and just like, how are we going to pay the bills? How are we going to do whatever our goals are? And I just felt like you really embodied like a real life faith in that moment, and I really admired that and still do now.
I can't take credit for that.
So that was 2015. That was in some ways like a lifetime ago. In some ways it feels like yesterday. But like, what turning points have you seen from your perspective? Which, by the way, Mary is, would we say not involved in any way? Would we say casual outside observer?
Yes.
Involved outside observer.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's healthy for our marriage that she's not
Yes.
overly involved in the business.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
when our now 5-year-old was born, I took that as my leave. I made that known. Like, this is me bowing out. I believe in you. Spread your wings, fly. Full support. Now go fly. Um,
And that was when Lizzie and Tina both came on. That was right. That was
yeah,
2018
yeah.
when Austin was born. It's interesting timing. But yeah, go on.
What's the question? Like, what have I
What
seen?
what like turning points have you seen since that time from your perspective?
Um, I mean, I think the biggest one is you having Jesse come on. Um, I have seen a big, and I know it's not just Jesse. Like, I see that it's always been this whole
It's really very
team.
little Jesse, I would say. Almost no Jesse.
It it like shifted. I picture like a boat like shifting and like like settling and stabling out. It was like Caleb was lopsided on the one side of the boat. Things were getting way. Maybe that wasn't the best. It just popped in my head. I
No,
figured I'd
that's
just say
fair.
it. Yeah, but I think Jesse coming on and like you've always had this amazing team of nutty people, and they've just been awesome. And you've said constantly, like, you couldn't do what you do without them. I mean, it's
I would
funny.
literally not be doing this right now if it was not for
No,
those
because it would
people.
just be us again. Like, I think of the early years of like, Caleb would be like, I need all this stuff by tomorrow. And I'd be like, oh, I'm coming up to help you. And like, get
She
on my
raised the third floor of our house in order to make peanut butter.
bundle up in my like,
All
parka
right.
and
It was
whatever
not
and
that
go
cold.
upstairs and,
It was like 70.
and grind nut butter until the wee hours of the morning. No, I'm exaggerating.
It was like 9 p.m.
No, but I think Jesse coming on and yeah, and even Tina obviously has been awesome. And yeah, the market people, Janice I know has carried a lot, and Danielle coming on, and you just have all these and everybody behind the scenes. Like it's just incredible to see this whole team that you've built, and I know you're great. Like you, as much as you don't talk about anything work related to me, it's kind of funny how little I know about Nutty Novelties. But what Caleb does share is the people, and he values the people who invest in this vision of his. That he's just doing his best every day, and he couldn't do it without his team. So thank
That's
you
100%
guys,
true. Yep.
because I couldn't do it. So thank you
No.
guys.
Oh gosh, it'd be a disaster. It'd be horrible. Yeah. Thanks for saying that. And let me take this opportunity to say, like, I have the best team that I know of. I don't know of any other small businesses like Nutty Novelties that talk about their people, think about their people like the way that I do. Like, I just feel like I've got the best people there are. I am super blessed and super thankful. And literally, I would not be doing this right now if it wasn't for the team people. We have an amazing team. Thank you all. It's like almost 20 people right now. So I'm not going to name you all by names, but you know who you are, and I love you. Thank you for all that you do. And Mary, thanks for bringing that up, because that's a great point. Mary,
Yes.
would you like to work for us we need to start hiring, and specifically, we need to make some more energy bites.
No. I love energy bites and I love you. No.
Obviously,
And thank
okay.
you,
All right,
Ivy.
we're gonna thank you, Ivy. All right,
And Co.
we're gonna put a clothespin in that one, and we'll come back to that. Mary, from your perspective, again, what do you see being the future of Nutty Novelties? Where do you think we're going? What is happening?
Oh,
I don't freaking
man.
know.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to be broken out of your comfort zone a little bit. Caleb is very wise and cautious when it comes to making any kind of changes or taking any plunges. Like I remember the Nutty Mobiles were like a big deal. Like
Yeah,
you
because they
talked
are a
about
big
that.
deal.
I know they are. That's a huge deal. It's a vehicle. That's um yeah, any kind of extended space or any big changes I know that you think on and pray on for a long time, and um, I I admire that wisdom and caution, and I think I foresee you being stretched out of your comfort zone a little bit because I think what you have going here with your team is carrying you a little faster and higher than you might want to go, and I think you're going to be stretched a little, and I think you need to just trust and take the leap and see what happens. What's the JR quote about experiments or something? And
I've said it like 50
I don't
times.
remember. I have no
Everything is
memory.
an experiment.
There you go. So, you know, that's what I foresee. Does that answer your question? Probably not.
Thank you, Mary. Mary, when you are not adoring Nutty Novelties and eating our delicious products and feeding them to our delicious children, what do you like to do with your time?
I mean, I'm with the kids,
With the kids.
so
We
I
have a
don't know
5-year-old
how to.
son, and we're
Five.
fostering 2 babies right
Yep.
now.
Yep.
And Mary is very, very busy with that.
So I love them, but my brain is fried from them. And yeah, I mean, I like to see people and be outside. I don't know. What do I like? Good food.
Do you remember?
I don't remember. What brings me joy? Chocolate? Dark chocolate.
You heard it here.
Dark chocolate almond butter.
You heard it here first, folks. Mary likes to eat chocolate.
Dark chocolate almond butter. Yay.
Thank you for being on today, my sweet cheeks. This was a delight. I'm sure that our adoring fans will love this. Any last words?
No. Thank you, guys.
And as always,
I don't know the tagline.
stay nutty.
Stay nutty.